Welcome back to Toonzy, where every wish comes with a price, and some doors are better left unopened. Today's story is a chilling reminder to be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. It all began in the deepest, most hidden corners of the internet. A place most of us will never see, and for good reason. A private chat room on the dark web, shrouded in anonymity and encrypted conversations, suddenly flickered with a new message. It wasn't code or a transaction. It was an invitation. A single, cryptic link that simply read, "Enter the wishing room. One wish. One cost." For most, it would have been an immediate red flag, a digital trap to be ignored, but not for everyone. Among the users was Ethan, a hacker whose curiosity often outpaced his caution. He saw the link not as a threat, but as a puzzle. What was the wishing room? What kind of cost was it talking about? He'd navigated the dark web's treacherous paths for years, confident he could handle anything it threw at him. With a dismissive click, he opened the link. His screen didn't just go to a new page, it plunged into absolute blackness. For a heart-stopping moment, he thought he'd been hit by a virus, that his system was fried. Then, slowly materializing from the void, a single image appeared, a deep, crimson door, ancient and foreboding. As he stared, a whisper seemed to slither directly from his speakers into his mind. It was a cold, sibilant voice, a sound that felt older than technology itself. It asked a simple, terrifying question. "What do you desire most?" Ethan scoffed. It had to be an elaborate prank, some kind of interactive horror game. Fine, he'd play along. He was a struggling coder, living in a cramped apartment, buried in student debt. What did he desire most? The answer was easy. With a smirk, he typed his response into the void. "I want to be rich." The screen remained black, save for the ominous red door. A moment passed, then two words materialized beneath it. "Payment accepted." Ethan rolled his eyes. Payment accepted, right? He was about to close the window when his phone buzzed violently on the desk. It was his best friend, his voice cracking with panic and horror. "Ethan, it's your parents." Ethan's blood ran cold. His friend was screaming, barely coherent, something about a truck that had lost control, a horrific accident on the highway. At that exact moment, as the terrible news sank in, a notification popped up on his monitor from his bank. His heart hammered against his ribs. A deposit had just been made into his account. Not a small one, millions. The price had been paid. The days that followed were a blur of grief and guilt. The money felt like ash in his hands, a constant, sickening reminder of the cost. He attended the funeral in a daze, the millions in his account a grotesque secret he could never share. He tried to forget, to convince himself it was a horrible, tragic coincidence. He deleted his browser history, formatted his hard drive, and tried to move on. But you can't outrun a shadow, especially one you've invited in. One night, as he sat alone in his now empty family home, the link appeared again. This time, it wasn't on the dark web, it was on his desktop, a shortcut that hadn't been there before. He should have destroyed the computer. He should have run. But a different kind of desperation had taken hold. Grief had twisted into a dark, selfish obsession. His ex-girlfriend, Sarah, had left him months ago, and the pain was still a raw, open wound. He clicked the link. The red door appeared. The voice whispered again. This time, he didn't hesitate. He typed, "I want her to love me again." The reply came instantly. Payment accepted. That very night, there was a frantic knocking at his door. It was Sarah. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with a strange mix of terror and adoration. She was crying, clinging to him, saying she'd had a terrible dream where everyone she knew was gone, and Ethan was the only person left in the world. She said she realized she couldn't live without him. Ethan felt a triumphant thrill mixed with icy dread. He had her back, but the next morning the news broke. Sarah's entire family, her parents, her sister, her brother had all been found dead in their homes from what authorities called a sudden, unexplainable series of simultaneous gas leaks. It was no coincidence. It was a massacre, the payment. Panic finally shattered Ethan's delusion. This wasn't a game. It was a curse. He had to stop it. He tried to delete the site to trace its origin, to use all his hacking skills to wipe it from existence. But every time he shut down his laptop, it would power back on by itself, and the red door would be there, waiting. The voice was no longer a whisper. It was a commanding presence in his room, in his head. One final wish remains, Ethan, it hissed, the sound full of cold, ancient hunger. You owe me your soul. The next day, police broke down the door to Ethan S.'s house after neighbors reported a blood-curdling scream in the night. They found his body slumped in his chair, his eyes stretched wide in eternal horror, his mouth frozen mid-scream. On his computer monitor, the red door was open, just a crack revealing an endless, swirling darkness within. And on the screen, a new message began to type itself out, letter by letter. Next user connected. Welcome to the wishing room. This was Toonzy, where nightmares are just a click away. If this story sent a chill down your spine, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from the dark side. But be warned, you might not like what you find. See you next time, if you dare.